Welcome back to Phelan Studio. I'm Helen, and today I have an upper body focused class using light weights. Now it's really crucial you use just between 1 and 3 pounds of weights because we don't want to compensate into our neck and shoulders. We want to use that to feel really powerful and move with good form. So when your arms are sore tomorrow, you can thank me by liking, subscribing, and sharing this class with a friend of yours who loves a hard Pilates workout. Can't wait to hear how it goes. See you on the mat. Welcome back to Phelan Studio. Today is day 10 of our holiday challenge, and we are working on upper body. I'm using these 3-pound weights. They're totally optional. You can do this whole class without them if you prefer. And I would definitely recommend staying within the 1 to 3 pound range, just to make sure that we're not compensating in any muscle groups that we don't really need. So to get us started, I want you to find the proposal position with your right knee forward. And the tendency is to sink into the low back like this. So try to lift up super tall and slightly tuck your pelvis under. Meanwhile, trying to grow taller at the rib cage. Arms are down at your sides and you just press the arms back and front. So while this is an upper body class, we're using a lot of core for this movement, which is why I have you set up in this proposal position. Because when our legs are staggered like this, our abdominals have to do a little bit more work to keep us upright. I want to reach down as I press back out, trying to squeeze through the back of the arm as I press out, squeeze between the shoulder blades as I press out. We're here for 5. Keep growing taller. Squeezing through the backs of the arms, really strong through the triceps. Let's go 2. And keep the arms back. They stay back, just little pulses, back an inch. Keep pulling the right hip back so your hips are nice and square. Pressing your left shin through the floor. It's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, so nothing crazy yet. That was manageable. Take your weights, tap them down to the ground. We're gonna come back to them in just a moment. This next one, you may not have done before. It's a little bit unique. You're gonna lay all the way down on your side and lay on top of your right hand. My knees are bent as if I'm sitting in a chair. And I'm gonna go, let's have both hands hugging behind the thighs. It's a bit awkward for the head, but we're not gonna linger there too long. I want you to exhale, pull on your legs so much that this becomes a bicep curl for this arm. And then you're gonna inhale, slow motion, lower yourself back down. So you may have to readjust what angle your legs are at. Exhale, bring it up. It's a tricky one. If you don't get it the first try, it's okay. I didn't either. Woo. Bring it all the way down. Exhale, press through the elbow to lift it up. And inhale, take it back to the floor. If you're feeling stress on your elbow, don't go full range. I want you to come from the top and then just go to your max and keep it a little bit smaller. That way you're still getting that strength through the biceps, but without the stress through the joints. It's a fun one, right? It's a little bit unique, a little bit different. Usually we think of a bicep curl as bringing the hand to us. This time we're bringing our body into the wrist. We're here for 2. Make sure you're breathing. And it wouldn't be a Phelan Studio class without some pulsing action, right? So lift it up this time. Open it up to whatever your max range is without touching the floor, and press up and in an inch and down. Press up and in an inch and down. I know it looks really crazy, but hopefully you feel your biceps. For 3, rely less on that top hand. 2, and 1, recline it all the way down. Ooh, crack, crack, crack on all of that. Come on up, grab those weights again, and find your kneeling position. So my knees are hip width apart, and you're gonna bring your arms. Everything in my body is cracking today. Good thing the microphone is hopefully only catching my voice. Reach those arms out wide to the side. Elbows are a little bit bent, so they're soft. They're not shrunken in, but they're also not locked out. We don't wanna put that stress on the joints like we talked about. Draw the arms in, open them back up. I am giving myself a little gentle squeeze between the shoulder blades as I open the arms up each time. But I'm also not letting my ribs flare or put pressure in my low back. So my torso is pretty stable and locked. Now, the heavier your weights are, the more likely you are to start to feel this creep into your neck. So if you need to, you can always do this without the weights. You can set them down, try it with body weight, or grab a weight lighter than what you have. That's really why I like to cap this at 3 pounds, because any heavier than that, it's really hard for us to keep our shoulders stable and get the arm strength training that we're looking for. Let's go 5, 4, stabilizing through those shoulders. Last 2, gonna be really helpful for when we hit plank, which we will soon. Open those arms up, keep it nice and open, and just flip palms up, flip palms down, flip palms up, flip palms down. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Down and up. Keep them at the same height the entire time. Slightest tuck of your pelvis. Try not to lean back. Bring your ribs on top of your hips. We're here for 2 and 1. Rest it down. Let's get back into the bicep situation. So leave your weights again. This time we're going on to our second arm. You know the drill already. Come into your side lying position. The knees are bent. You're gonna press through the ground. Exhale. That first one is the toughest one. And then bring it all the way back down. Exhale, push through that bottom arm to lift yourself up. And inhale, control it back down. You can also, of course, take this hand to the ground to help you out. And then over time, you go less and less pressure in that top hand. It's also totally fine if you need the support on one side and not the other. Like I said, in so many of my classes, but definitely in this challenge so far, I've said it. Our bodies are usually a little bit, different from right to left. So give yourself the support where it's needed. Let's go 3. No momentum, I know it's tempting. 2. And last time, we're gonna pulse it out. Bring it up. Bring it about halfway-ish down, little pulse up and in. Squeeze the bicep as you lift up through it. It's 3, 2, and 1. Bring it all the way up. Come out of that. Meet me on your hands and knees. So now we're gonna tie that all together. Weights are optional for this. Because my weights don't have like the little round things on the ends, I'm gonna be on my knuckles for this series, but if your weights have the little round things, I don't know what they're actually technically called, you won't have any pressure on your hands. So up to you. Coming into the knuckles. Actually, you know what, I lied. I'm not gonna do that at all. I'm just gonna put them on the ground, my hands by the weights, and I'm gonna step out to plank. So this plank can be on the knees, it can be up on the toes, it can be whatever you like. I am gonna separate my feet a little bit wider for a little support. And what I'm doing with these weights is a little row to the floor. Row to the floor. Now these are light weights, but they pack a major punch for these rows. I want you to try and give me anti-rotation, which means you're trying not to let your hips twist. So this guy is a totally different exercise. I want this one. Pulling it, rowing it away from the ground. Let's go 4. Drop to your knees if you feel your hips wiggling. 2. 1. Woo. Set it down. This time, we're gonna go right back into that for another round. I want you to step your left foot forward. So we're in a different proposal lunge this time. Tailbone is curled under, left hip is pulled back. Shoulders are rolled down away from your ears. You're gonna press your arms back behind you, but flip the palms in. You can even bounce. You can even pitch your torso forward just the slightest. And this time, instead of going back and forth, I'm going out and in. Squeezing the arms, the backs of the arms, the space between the shoulder blades as my arms find center. Focus is at the front of my mat, so I'm not dropping my chin to my chest. I'm gazing forward, elongating my cervical spine. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it back, take little pulses in. Can you lift your arms a little higher for a little more intensity? It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let it go. Weights to your sides. We don't need them for those bicep curls. Coming down to the ground once again. Remember, that top hand can be your support, but I want to change up the dynamic of this a little bit. I want to try and get up quickly and come down slowly for an eccentric contraction of the muscle. So that means use support if you want it. Up quickly, down in twice as long. Up quickly, down in twice as long. So speed at the top, effort elongating that movement at the bottom. Slow, 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 and that is just challenging the muscle in a slightly different way. And also keeping our brain here so that we're not just cruising through the movement or, sometimes that happens, we zone out and our body keeps going through the motions. When you change up the dynamic of the movement, it kind of prevents you from doing that. One more time. I want you to come up again. We're going to pulse it out here with support if you want it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up. Back to the knees. You got to grab a hold of your weights. Come back out. This time palms are facing up to the sky. Got hair hanging off. Everything. Palms facing up without shrugging your shoulders. You're going to hug the world and then bring it back in. So we call this one hug a tree because you're like, standing in front of a tree. And this one is like Atlas with the weight of the world on his shoulders. Exhaling up, inhaling open, keeping those arms right in line with your shoulders. Be careful not to shrink them down and in. I want to keep them out as long as I can without locking the elbows, because that's going to make my arms feel heavier, which means you might fatigue a little more quickly. But we're going to get more done in less time. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give me one more. And now keep it open and stay. This becomes a pulse up and down. Pulse up and down. Very similar to this guy we did before, but we're keeping the palms facing up the whole time. Whole arm should be lighting up right about now. Reaching longer through your wings. Let your shoulders drop away from the ears for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Reach out a little longer, big stretch before softening those arms down. Let's come into our biceps on side 2. So knees are sitting as if you're in a chair, and your legs are set up as if, your legs are set up as if you're in a chair. Your arms are set up underneath the chair. Lost my train of thought like mid-sentence there. And you're going to exhale, lift yourself up quickly, slow motion, take it right back down. Exhale, lift it up, and slow motion, take it back down. Controlling it down, exhaling to bring it up. Slower on the down than you think it should be. Quick on the up, nice slow control on the down. It's 4, 3, we are going to pulse it out. 2, and last time, come up again for pulses. Little pulse of 5, 4, 3, lighter touch with that supporting arm 2, and 1, bring it all the way up. Okay, let's come into those planks one final time. With the weights, which are optional, step it out to the knees, step it out to the toes, whatever you like to do here. And now this time, I'm going to give myself not just the row. I'm going to start like this, 1 row, and 1 reach forward. Then change sides. 1 row, 1 row to reach forward. So I'm folding through the elbow. Fold at the elbow, that's 1. Lift it up, punch it out, pull it back in. That's 1. Can absolutely be done on the knees. You should feel your core here as well. 1 at a time. These weights just want to roll away from me. And then let's hit that one final time. Row. Row to reach. And row. Row to reach. Take it down to the knees and set it back. Hands behind the back, interlock those hands together. Gentle twist from side to side. So it's technically an upper body class, but we snuck some full body action in there as well. If you're feeling good, if you want more, you even could do that whole thing one more time through so that you do that set of work 4 times total. Totally optional. I know that we're all short on time and we got to do what makes sense for us so that we're able to consistently hit our mat versus overdoing it every once in a while, you know? So let me know how you're feeling. Let me know if you did get to it more than one time. I'd love to hear who attempted that, and I will see you tomorrow.